Hello, hello. Let's continue. We just realized that we're like 20 bucks short from actually paying off our debts, which is disappointing. I'm gonna see if there's anybody here new to talk to. This guy, I think, is just gonna give us one comment because we don't get the ... But we'll see what he says. Alright then. That is true. So far, a lot of this game has been about getting money.
Isn't a deep slumber.
Nothing to do there. Can talk to this nice old lady again.
Hello again, sweetie. Yes, dear.
A paraplegic is someone limited or no
Nice knowledge of words, my goodness.
Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height.
No, dear. I'm not quite that old. Although I was injured in the line of duty. Nothing so glamorous, dear. Though when I was young, I dreamt.
She's really doing her best to make some sense out of the nonsense we're saying.
I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail order. You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere. I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was That's quite all right. I'm used to.
There is no bitterness in her face. She accepted the curiosity of conditioning.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed.
She won't judge you, no matter what you say.
Oh my. You know where we are, right? That's right.
So I guess I was supposed to have this conversation much sooner, but I got all caught up with trying to get a body out of a tree.
Yes.
But now I've come back with so much knowledge, I can impress her.
How would I even begin to tell you? I haven't seen
Very uncommon opinion. Well, maybe that explains it.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is.
No idea.
There. The year is 51, and spring is only just.
The lieutenant studies you, rubbing. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Cop.
Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called.
But they still have cops.
Oh dear, this is troubling.
Hmm.
Really ought to know, but we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
Defeat, I'm afraid. The
Hmm.
people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something. Of course, sweetie. I really don't know how to.
Well, we've already pieced together a lot of this stuff ourselves, but yeah, this was definitely a conversation we should have had earlier on. For all I know, that could have kick-started communism in my brain all the faster. If I go to bed, will I just instantly become a communist? I don't know.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I...
You didn't do too well, dear.
Hmm.
It does look.
A sigh.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor,
I don't know.
you are
I don't know if the world needs these eyes.
much. Someone more educated in sweeping,
No, I'm not an encyclopedia.
of course.
Alright. Oh, we got a new quest going.
Wealthy people are educated.
Who do we know that's rich? Just that lady on the boat. Well, when we go back to see her, which I'm sure we'll do now, soon, she'll give us some more info. Let's try it.
I heard your conversation.
If she could. This woman, you've got guns of steel and a chisel.
Jeez. Goodness.
Maybe she'd like to sponsor you.
You must be joking.
It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have.
Interesting idea. This
Well, we've heard a lot about Everett before.
maybe.
And she seems to actually be kind of pro-union here, right? Like, she kind of believes in the ideal of a union. She's a good dirty commie at heart, that's for sure. So it would make sense that she still kind of thinks the union is for the workers and that this one isn't just, you know, fairly corrupt and smuggling drugs and murdering people and really just kind of domineering the town. Man, if we could do this and get the money from her and not have to get the money from Kim, I think I would prefer that.
Your deportment remains dignified, as you should.
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but
this guy would like this too. Gold, that's a good photon emitter. That doesn't trap photons. That's real nice and shiny.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas relief, with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom reads, San Baptiste.
it's easy. You bring a valuable item to a pawnbroker, who then gives you money for it. You can get that later for a slightly
She's
lower
not
price
confident.
if it hasn't been sold. Cross the plaza and follow the road
An
along.
old friend of my husband.
Down
Okay.
by the water, there
Yes, we've been there.
Okay, we have. That's interesting. So far, this game hasn't been like super consistent in terms of if it will remember that you've done something before. Usually, all the conversations are sort of vague enough that you could be having them in any order. But I'm impressed, you know, that they add this.
Items that
Yeah.
can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the items tab.
I
If
see.
you pawn these items,
Oh, it's not an ancient family heirloom or anything. I hope you're able to pawn that old trinket.
You know, I'd rather just get the money from Kim.
Thank you, dear. I confess I am glad to see it again.
Even the lieutenant seems
Nice.
Now,
I think that's definitely better. So we had the item briefly. It still triggered a new item thing. Let's go to Kim's car, get some money. Gosh, poor Kim. I'm assuming that's what we're doing here. He says there's something that he'll.
steering levers, a radio,
I have something here we could sell. We can.
transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop. Don't mind. There are spinner hubcaps. Frivolous things with no wheels. The caps keep
What's that Jay-Z line?
no real use for them, just for vanity.
I have to put my brain into Jay-Z mode. It's from Moment of Clarity. Thank God for giving me this moment of clarity, this moment of honesty. The world to feel my truth, a hard knock lifetime, a gift and a curse. But it's before the course. It's right before the course. And he goes, you know that my mind's just like them. The rims, baby. Lyrically, I could be like Talib Kweli, but I ain't been rhyming like common sense. Since my sense got so much in common with much made sense, but since you know what I'm up against, he says, you know, he's saying they just want to make me rap about stuff like these rims. They want me to rap about vain things. But you should know that just like the rims that keep spinning even when this car stops, my brain is still going. It's like such fucking excellent wordplay. And when I was a kid and I listened to like the Black album a ton and had this song like totally loaded up in my RAM, I could remember that entire verse trivially, but it's gone now. It's gone now. Jay-Z, I'm sorry, but you're gone now. Anyways.
A vanity he wouldn't mind.
Were you actually going to use them, Kim?
I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son. Hi. I took them and arrested him. I don't know. Is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter.
He flashes a smile,
He!
barely visible in the dark.
Kim is a Jay-Z fan. He gets it. He knows. My mind's working just like them. The rims, baby. Thank God for granting me this moment of clarity, this moment of honesty. That's how I'm feeling right now. Knowing that I finally can understand my partner Kim on a level I did not before.
As I said, they're useless anyway.
But thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Alright. Let's go to the pawn shop, which is down here. Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. God, I get lost so friggin' easily. Is this the pawn shop? Yeah, yeah. Never mind. Genius of navigation. Thank God for granting me this moment of clarity. This moment of honesty. Ah, the pronunciation tip popped up. I already know how these words are pronounced. I listened to the stuff. The rim. Whoa! Ho, ho, ho! Spinning. Yo, he'll pay top dollar for this too, because look, he's all about seeing the motion of light and stuff. Just having his little ambient projector going. You get the spinners in front of that, spinning. Damn, you'll be thanking God for granting you this moment of clarity, this moment of honesty, the world to feel my truth, a hard not lifetime, a gift and a curse. I don't remember the next line though. I abide by the something of the truth to feel mine. I represent the dynasty of being one of the realest gamers out, way beyond a reasonable doubt. Oh man, that's so good. And then way beyond a reasonable doubt, talking about that was his first album. Now he's going way beyond a reasonable doubt. All right, somebody gotta sell.
We'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and
Iridescent.
splits them. The spinners
They're beyond iridescent.
light on
That's a joke from Boys Club. Shoutouts to Matt Fury.
Yes, these are very, very good.
Fraud of
Looking
form.
forward some foreign prints for them.
No one was defrauded or jammed. Are you sure?
Of course. I meant no.
Thank you.
Thank God for granting me this bunch of money.
Here's
This
the 100
200 in
your
real.
bill. Do not waste it.
The
Beautiful.
windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another
All
time?
right. Yeah, baby. All right, let's fucking go. Time to go to bed. I don't know how to leave. There we go. Okay. All right, we got that. We got this. We got money in excess. Can pay for our damages and still got a bunch in the bank. Kim got some cash too. I don't know what the hell I'll spend it on. Where is Kim gonna sleep? I don't even know. I guess he figured that all out before we met up. Thank God for granting me this moment of clarity, this moment of honesty, the world to feel my truth.
Can I help you?
Alright.
Yes. Have you got it?
Yeah, let's apologize too.
Thank you, officer. That's
Yo, we got big experience for that.
If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow.
Yeah, we can we come up with that money in a day? Maybe. We can go back and beg that rich lady again. Maybe she's gonna give us like a daily stipend, you know?
The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow.
Alright
Please
then.
pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real.
Oh, that's so cheap. That's right. That wasn't my rent. That wasn't my actual bill. That was because I fucked up the everything and broke a window and stuff.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always
Excellent.
happy to have officers from the RCM as guests.
Okay, so we can level up here. I think I want to buy a slot. Yeah. Let's get some rigorous self-critique going. Like, we could level up one of these, too. Maybe I should have thought about some more. Like, looked at my, white tasks. But right now, I don't think it's gonna make or break any of these. Alright, let's go to bed. Let's go to bed. I guess we could pay next night's bill now. Or I guess we gotta do that tomorrow. Alright, let's go to bed. I'm feeling, go to bed. It's 11 p.m. Got a solid 8 hours in. Wake up cracking on tomorrow. Oh, I want to see what's up with this lady, because she's involved with the union.
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick he doesn't like with this. You should punch a fucking hole in it.
No.
The murmur in your ears recede.
That's a lucky door. I guess if my half-life was even higher, perhaps I would just not be able to stop myself. Alright, Lieutenant, I think this is where we part ways for the evening.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation.
Yeah, okay. A little debriefing. Here I'm gonna wow him with how many theories I've formulated. How many layers upon layers I got going here.
The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also
Ooh, Kim's having a cigarette too.
Easy on the RCN. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Sounds pleasant. I don't know, I wish it was easier to smoke only at that level. I mean, for me it's a non-starter because I take estrogen, and if you're taking estrogen specifically, but hormones in generally, I think you really shouldn't smoke nicotine. But it is, I don't know, nicotine is kind of nice. But the problem is you can't just have, it's very difficult to just have like a cigarette occasionally like that. It very quickly turns into an addiction.
oh man, he looks so cool.
Will I die if I have one? I'll have one.
Again, I only have exactly one every night. You mean this? This isn't good. It's an unnecessary trial of will.
His trial of will of exactly one every night.
Keeping the habit within the
I used to play a game with my friend, which was another unnecessary trial of will. We both really liked these lime and black pepper chips. And then we would buy a bag, and the rule was we could only have one chip of each other's bags. So if he had bought a bag, and we were hanging out, drinking, whatever, I could have one chip, and I had to have exactly one. I wasn't allowed to just have zero, but you have to have one just to get the taste in your mouth and remember how good it is, and then watch him eating the rest of the bag. I sound like a psychopath, but it was just like a pure exercise of will that was very satisfying, the one chip challenge. And then in turn, if I bought a bag sometime, he would have just one chip. We didn't do this like all the time or for very long, but I can remember thinking, what an exquisite test of my willpower this is, to have just one chip.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that sense.
So I feel like this is going to be very customized based on what we actually did. I really like this sort of summary. We've been playing for... Is this game like real time? No, that's crazy. Is it? It's crazy. No. It's been more game time than real time, right? Because I've been playing for like 8 hours. But yeah, 8 hours. A lot has happened.
Our inspection could have been more thorough, as it always, the body is still hanging from that tree.
He is not particularly satisfied with your progress, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably out of fear that you'll just give up and keep drinking.
I look forward to that. We weren't able to find the union leader, Evra. We tried to interview the Wild One's Red, but she asked us to do something for her. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation. Above all, today was exhausting. Watching all the running.
Wow, that's... Huh. Wow. I didn't expect this almost like fourth wall breaking comment. Because it's a video game, dude. In a video game, you pretty much always run given the chance. But it's true that in real life, very few people actually run from location to location. I've only had like 2 friends, I think, that by default, if they're by themselves and they're just going from location to location, they just run. I run when it's necessary, like I run when I'm catching a bus or something. This is kind of crazy to think about. Also, just thinking about those 2 friends, they're so radically different people in almost every single way. But they both have science degrees, from the same university, so that's funny too. Anyways, children run. When do you stop running? When do you stop running as your default mode of transportation?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until you get up tomorrow.
Yeah, this is the real thing.
Especially for men your age. And in those hills. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green.
Wow, what is this? We're getting along. Look at this. We're getting along. Me and Kim. We're getting along. Finally. Finally.
The dying lights of the city shine below. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me. He thinks, this little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth of you know. It's different in Jamrock and the GRIH. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the union, to the company, not daring to come here more. We run this city. West of the river is RCM. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are. But we are in control, and it's worth it.
Night. Captain Bartholomew Price steps into the yard. A piebald horse waits by the motor garage, chewing oats out of an oat bag. Seagulls.
So poetic. So evocative. The images this game generates.
And a standard patrol.
It's the type of quality that it makes you feel almost ashamed as a writer. Like, what have I been doing? What have I been trying to do? I don't know why this really struck me. Maybe it's the use of the word piebald. You don't see that word very often. And just also that real Joycean, Pinchonian overtaking of the image. Characters that can't help but visualize things so completely and thoroughly. It's one of the joys of literature.
Rows of houses on either side, hunching over the sidewalks. And Precinct 41, with its thanks, kid, he thinks. He's grateful.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebel
I'm about to become a communist. I'm about to become a communist. Shut up, Kim. Shut up, Kim. I'm gonna become a communist. Let's just hit it now. Thank God for granting me this moment of clarity, this moment of honesty. Maybe this just means once my conversation is finished, I'll become a communist.
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to play in, yes, although indirectly, as officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually
When power calls you, you come. But power,
we are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal. That's an improbability.
of course you've killed people. It's somewhere down there, melting in all the drink.
Precinct 41 is known for...
He's not judging you. He's respectfully acknowledging the difficulty.
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases, yes. The last time was 4 years ago.
Wow. Wow, I'm actually very surprised by
He
this.
says it matter-of-factly and moves on.
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Kourou and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount. Yes, the international community's DRCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Relachol or the coalition government formed. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the Moralinton leases us the right to keep. The Moralist International are the world's largest organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the real belt. Our coalition government is just what? What do they believe in? They are DeLoreans. They believe they can...
Ooh, Dolores Day. That was the bus that we saw in the pawn shop.
4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats. Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not.
We've seen that somewhere too, I'm pretty sure.
Passion, self-discipline. I think you can get
Something ominous. Something even a little feminine. But in a strict manner.
Here, electrochemistry means horny, I guess.
the moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad.
Lib! Kim is a lib and an op! Shove him off the balcony. No, I can't begrudge Kim. I have to make the case for communism strongly and convincingly and compellingly and completely to him before I can expect him to be on my side. In the absence of that, looking at what he's seen, looking at the contrast between states where the moral intern is in power, and then these sorts of lawless states where local unions are just kind of bullying people, we can see where he comes to that conclusion. This is unfortunate that he's a fucking... okay. Maybe he's less of a lib. He's just a cop. Which is even worse!
The historic figure, the author of the modern age. You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject
For you, she is something painful. Though it's hard to say why.
Do you? No, we are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization, protecting the people of Russia. That's the hand we were dealt. Without the MI, we would become vigilantes. Then you will adore Martinez. These people, union especially. Vigilantes is precisely what we are.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west.
Tomorrow is
as well as
Tuesday.
from
Monday
to the suburbs.
is
Tomorrow
over.
is Tuesday.
That
I want to
quite
feel
limits
out,
We can arrest people, of course, but we are permitted to use whatever force. Yes, the RCM was...
I want to try out some of
Perhaps
my
it is
other
better to say we were.
options
It's probably
here.
more honest, yes. Either way, Merlinton leases us the right to keep the peace in this city. And it's not quite limited, actually. The power... We can arrest people. We are permitted to use whatever... Yes. The RCM, or perhaps it is... Be sentimental, if you like. Either way, Merlinton leases...
How do I get to,
The body is...
He is not particularly satisfied with your progress, but
It's not my job to evaluate your method. We weren't able. We tried to... I have a... Above all,
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son.
it's impressive. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Oh, there's... Shoot, I thought there was maybe more. But that's okay. We got experience for that. That was nice. We got a thought.
Mazovian.
Yes. Yes. Thank God for granting me this.
0.00% of communism.
Yes.
Evil, child-murdering billionaires still rule the world. With a
Yes.
shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself...
I mean, this is so real. What does it feel like to be a communist in this day and age? Just means you're sad.
economic
It means you have this picture in your
made
head
him into a
that
very
someone showed you once
with something like a
and
university
said,
degree in truth.
this might have happened.
Instead of building communism,
We don't know, we gave up, but it might have happened.
grotesque, duplicitous world.
And you start to get pissed off that someone showed you that. Someone showed you it and said, yeah, this might have happened. It's like all your life you've been in jail eating slop. And someone just shows you a picture of just this beautiful steak dinner with mashed potatoes and lovely collard greens and a beautiful glass of red wine just twinkling. And even though you've never tasted those things, on a pure instinctual level, you know it's just leagues and leagues and leagues better than the slop you've been eating every day of your life. And you start to resent seeing it. And you start to think, if only I could go on in ignorance, it's not like I'll ever get to eat this either way. I don't know. What bonuses do we get? Alright, well, we lost some stats, but we're going to start grinding experience by being a really insufferable leftist and just spouting our opinions at every turn. That's, just like real life, the power that you gain from becoming a communist. You know, when I think about it, communist realism and depressive realism, depressive ontology and communist ontology, or rather, I'm defining one by its presence and the other by its absence. So I should say acceptance of capitalist ontology and capitalist realism, they're very similar insofar as they're seductive in that they feel like they're actually much more aligned with the truth. That when you're depressed and you see the world as a depressive, this is what I've been reading about in a Mark Fisher book recently, the hold it has over you is that you recognize things for what they are. And it's not even so much that that's untrue as it is unproductive. And the same way as taking a realistic view of the capitalist structure, it's right. It's actually correct, and that's why you can't shake it. But it's also so debilitating. So debilitating because you're constantly beset by the tragedy of how things are. It's time for bed. Good night, dear Kim. No. Not worth trying. We got a thought. Yeah, well, it's been a long day, and I ate very little, and I had a hangover for most of it. And I'm probably an alcoholic, and I didn't drink today, which means I'm probably going through alcohol withdrawal. So it is what it is. See you in the morning.
Yes?
Yeah, good night. I'm so moved by the fact that Kim opened up a little bit. What can we do here? Let's go into detective mode. That's 10 cents right there. Good job, detective. Let's maybe take a look in the mirror. This door, I guess this is like a shared bathroom with Kim's room. Right? Yeah. Well, we could look in the mirror and finally lose our Goya-esque portrait of darkness and instead finally take a look at that mutton-chopped beauty.
Reach a boat. You clearly have not. You won't. And you will never be here. There is definitely something wrong with it. Where to even begin?
An upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin. Ah, what a line! Oh, goodness.
Your skin. Bet you are. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you blink it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly...
What, like LA Beast drinking beer through his nose? No, that's not what it means.
It's not. Smell like Don't be scared.
Alright. Hold the visage of a man. Look at that smile. Of course I've seen this picture a million times before.
Whatever it is, at least it's dead now. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Please stop. It's horrible. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even what does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? There might have been.
Ooh.
Years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now.
Low. Very low. We can maybe do this one. Let's pop the cutters into our hand. And then try again.
On the bathroom wall.
Eh.
Your face adorned with the
Let's try this first.
like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past.
Let's try this.
For now, it's too
Nope.
like an image on film. Expression.
The expression. I think I make this expression a lot.
Take a minor neurological.
I notice sometimes when I'm really upset, I'm just kind of going like... No, that's not right. What face am I making? Am I actually about to try to think of something upsetting just to see if I can generate my own the expression? Yeah, I think I do that a lot. If I'm really cheesed about something. That kind of thing too. It's like a grimace. I guess it's just like a grimace. But I feel it. I feel it. The expression. I feel it. Let's try this.
The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well.
Alright. Well, there we are. Oh, we can check the window again. This one actually we got a decent shot at now. Maybe it'll get us some experience.
The window stands broken in its
Look at that. Here we go.
cold wind. What do you mean?
Ah! Come on! Ah, that's still such a bad cop. Alright, well, I guess we go to bed. I could read a little bit first. I don't know if there's any harm in doing that. It seems like a good time to read.
Medicinal purposes of the pearl. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of.
Because I do want to understand this pail. The corpse brought it up when we talked to the corpse, and it has vague associations in my brain with the weird church out west, but I'm not really sure where I gathered those from. Honestly, taking a long break from this game adds its own sort of twist to the enjoyment, where it all feels like this kind of half-forgotten dream I have to connect.
Have you taken any walks through the pearl recently? The book is frustratingly vague on this topic. Flipping through the book, have you taken any walks through and on your walks? Do you stop to meditate on the nature of you need to do that? It's important for opening up your there are a series of psychic nodes located throughout your regular meditation in the pearl, however, can help to open up these zones. Permit good.
Alright.
And when you meditate, are you? Nudity is the most important part.
Can we actually strip ourselves bare?
Events our true selves. You probably can't even take off your pants.
Huh. Yeah, maybe I can't. Maybe this is a little fourth wall right here. That there are no mechanics that allow you to fully disrobe.
That feeling is the weight of society bearing. Flipping through the book, you come across the following explanation. While modern farm finally, it seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of. There are a number of zeolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory. What you're describing is.
True.
There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through first, you need to choose a base ingredient.
Mint.
Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle.
Ooh, I like aloe vera.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Ginseng.
The mint and aloe vera make this poultice ideal for soothing inflammation. And would
Alright.
you like to try again? Very well. First,
This is
choose a base.
so many permutations. Dude, it's already 1 a.m. Oh my gosh, we've been reading this book for an hour.
Next, you'll need to combine the base. Lastly, is there anything else? The ginger root will help with the nausea, and the birch bark tea will help you.
Hey, okay, so this is good for hangovers.
From the pearl, of course. Or perhaps from some. Very well. First,
Let's try
next,
this,
you need to,
this,
is there
and
any,
this.
You created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. If only you could find one of these.
The book said it was good for you.
Very
So what if we do
Next,
just a different
lastly,
permutation?
You've created a delicious tincture of if only.
Okay,
To
okay,
try,
alright.
you close the book and find yourself flipping through the book. Have you taken any walks? And on your walks, you need
Oops.
to do that. There is serious regular meditation in the path. Good. And when you meditate, excellent. Free your body. You're doing everything as a note of caution. However,
Okay, so can I take my clothes off? Whoop. 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 Oh, wow. Am I naked? No, I just have some disgusting underwear. Well, this is an okay way to sleep anyways. Alright. Oh, and I should put these guys away. Alright, I guess it's Betty Bye time. It's 2 a.m.
The bed is cold and not particularly
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Alright. Good day.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your
And
weight,
now we are back in the black in Oblivion.
and then sleep doesn't
Ooh boy. Okay. I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
come. Obviously, maybe it's the bed's fault.
Ah boy. In situations like this, I don't even know where I'm coming from with this because I've never really had insomnia. I had, medical issues growing up that made it very difficult for me to sleep. But not directly, just because my body was in a lot of pain, that it was hard for me to sleep. And in those situations, what I realized was you can't hope that it'll suddenly become easy. You can't just keep trying things and moving around and shifting your weight and rolling from side to side and adjusting pillows and stuff. At a certain point, you got to be like, nope, this is good enough. I'm just gonna stick it out. So I think none of these are gonna work.
Sympathetic filling is separated into hard lumps. It barely covers your toes. Stretch it over your soft belly. Under your throbbing eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Something to do with what is it that said?
At this point, I've so far outpaced my player character.
Thoughts lost between the
I got the whole thing worked out in my brain already, dog. I'm an excellent detective.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch.
Are we gonna have a dream?
And images start.
Will there be a dream sequence in this game? That would be fascinating. Oh, indeed there is. We're in a dream now. Dream version of the city. Wow. This game, by the way, I guess I haven't said it so explicitly. This game is awesome. I cannot get over how much shit there is in it, how great the writing is. And I just know it's going to keep surprising me, too, that I haven't even understand the dimensional scope of it. Alright, let's go have a confrontation with the body. Once again. I don't think I'll even be able to fully appreciate this game until I've played it twice. And I can see how many other options I had. And the soundtrack is great. The visuals are great. It's so far out of the aesthetic zone that I'm usually interested in. The characters are so far out of the characters that show up in stories I normally read. And yet I'm so transfixed by all of it. I just felt like saying that because you might think, oh, she stopped playing for like a month. Maybe she's not that into it. But it's more just like I'm overwhelmed by how good it is. Look at this, the disco ball. The disco ball. And myself hanging from the tree, not the corpse.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood? Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
My wife?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth? Oh no, Funky baby, you stay. It was the rest of it that lived. Or you just tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy.
Harry Dubois.
Where the
That's
hell
my
are
name.
yours?
I only knew that because someone told me. I don't think the game has told me yet.
No, it's gone.
Three times gone and never coming back.
You failed. You failed me.
Wow. To take the amnesiac thing, which at first I was like, oh, this is very convenient for gameplay reasons, then turn it into the whole fucking cloud strife, inner psycho conflicts, to learn these things about myself, 3 times gone, never coming back.
Found Elysium.
What does that mean?
Everything. The pale and the useless. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history.
I haven't even started playing this game yet.
You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed.
It's like a... Oh, it's just not...
Stinky boy. You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state. You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone.
The bed rises to meet you.
A thin,
That's like
thick
T.S. Eliot.
more glass than velvet. Grinding
Your
in
shadow
the
rising to meet you.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
I'm giddy. I'm giddy with how much I like this.
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Alright. Give me a second. That that was great. There was a certain point where I got really giddy because there's like a certain type of media, and normally I encounter this in like music mostly, and a big part of it was that like really soft droning violin. And here I'm thinking of the music of like Swans, kind of mid to late Swans, where they would have these kind of atmospheric, depressive breakdown sections. There's an album by The Body, which is a metal band called I Have Fought Against It, But I Cannot Any Longer. The closing track of that, a lot of Godspeed You Black Emperor music, and their associated act, Silver Mount Zion. This certain... and then sometimes in movies too, I remember getting this feeling in watching An Elephant Sitting Still and some Bela Tarr films. And even in books sometimes you can kind of get this, but it's not as striking without the audio element, I think. Just that really soft droning violin, and then someone speaking with an almost ASMR-inducing deliberateness, preciseness, but also just like delivering the most bleak, fatigued, giving up monologue you could even imagine. And I don't know, I've certainly had sleeps like that, where the sleep feels dry, where the sleep feels unnourishing, where you just know that you're going to wake up worse than where you left off. And part of it was like that resonance that I was like, I know what Mr. Dubois is going through, even though I'm sure what I've experienced is a pale fraction of what he's experiencing now. But more than that, it was just that it triggered that real, what should I call it? Despair core, that genre, that feeling I get when I encounter that genre of like you are hearing the words of someone who has already decided to end it all. who's already so resigned to their fate, and there isn't even the smallest, slightest thing you can do about it. Something that imparts that feeling has such a gravity to me. It feels so ultimate, like I'm getting a glimpse at one potential ending of everything. Not just, well, you know what I'm trying to say. Don't get worried, though. It's not like I actually am, thinking that that's going to happen. Lately, that idea feels a million miles away to me. I'm talking about getting old and stuff. It's crazy. It's great, to be clear. It's good. Sorry, I didn't think this would get so personal. But it's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of like if you ever see a happily ever after in a movie or something, or you see in any sort of media a depiction of just someone living an idyllic life, and you just are made to feel like their life is just going to be all bread and roses and happiness forevermore, right? Happily ever after, right? Like you see that sort of thing. And maybe it's not always the most compelling or relatable or convincing, because to really encapsulate that feeling of things are going to be all right from now on is very, very hard to convey on a way that like you can really empathize with, that you can actually like feel and not just be told in the plot, oh yeah, they're happily ever after. But it's sort of like the inverse of that is actually a lot more resonant. It is actually a lot more encapsulatable and can actually just impart that feeling on you, I think. The opposite of happily ever after, which is like over right now. Yeah, man. I don't know. That really hit me. I don't know. Will we keep playing? I don't really feel like we'll stand up. And now we can save. Let's have this thought.
Good going, buddy. Oh,
Just a dream.
you have ones like
Yeah.
all the time.
Feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
Me, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think. It is worrying, isn't it? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the sleep out of your system, Buster.
Whew.
Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
Well, it's amphetamines.
Speed is a potent central
Yeah.
nervous system stimulant. It kept you got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago. With me.
Ah, okay. Well, that's kind of a gameplay mechanic, too.
Every morning until the day you die. Don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason.
Well,
Of course, Martin, you and Speed will be happy again. You will make her comfortable.
let's try. Okay, I see. Okay, well, I think we'll call it for now. This seems like a great place to stop. Jeez. Man. I should explain as well. It's like, alright, so that's why I enjoyed that so much, because, like, that's why it affected me so much. Because it falls in line with a lot of other things that affect me that much. And I was very impressed with that. But you might wonder, like, why does that make me feel giddy? Why does that make me feel like this blooming, bursting happiness that I can't help but just grin from ear to ear? And I started saying this like, oh yeah, I should explain that because I didn't really explain that before. That was like left out. But now that I'm getting here, I don't know if I can explain it. I don't know. Why does that make me feel so good? I don't know. It's just kind of like a sort of feeling, you know? You're like, thank God for giving me this moment of clarity, this moment of honesty. I feel the world's truth. Something like that. Okay, bye.